Good morning. State 469 says hello. Dr.Dementia, Cat Alliance. Wow. I've waited a long time to make this video. And I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to say it up front. It's going to be, some people upset. But the facts are the facts. And I'm also going to say this. If you're smart, if you really and truly get it, you're going to get every member in your state to watch this video so that they understand. Because when it comes to state versus state, the impact that not following the basic advice here is significant. Please subscribe, like, and share, and make sure everyone, even if they don't subscribe it or like it, even if you don't agree, it's important that members of your alliance and members of your farms and other members in your state watch this video. Because when it comes to state versus state, it's you against the other state. And you all have to pull together. So let's go into this for just a minute. All right? We know, or you should know, the objective of state versus state, it's a 12-hour battle. And it can be a bloody battle. And in that 12 hours, it's not like Reservoir Raid, it's not like Reservoir League. You don't get your shit back for free. Every loss you take, every wounded you have, takes resources, and there is a financial point that you have to assign to resources. There's a value there, whether you paid for it or not, whether you bought a bundle or not. It is what it is. You know, I don't like this. This is a little off center here. I guess you can get to see my shoe rack over there. But it is what it is. It's also morning here. It's not that early. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning here. And we have Reservoir League here in just a few hours where we're pretty much going to get our ass kicked because these guys are monsters compared to us. But, hey, it's fun and it is what it is. So, state versus state, 12 hours. The objective is hold the capital, hold the mid, hold that for 6 hours, or hold it the longest out of 12 hours. Now, don't mistake this where you can have different people holding it. All right? And when I say that, what I mean is it's going to be the state that holds it the longest if one alliance doesn't hold it for 6 hours. So in other words, if Cat holds it for 4 hours, but the other opponent has 2 alliances that in total held it for 7 hours, they're going to win. Okay? So let's you should know this already. However, I thought I would just briefly say that. So here's what's critical. Here's the part that just pisses me off. And it should piss you off. But I think what happens is when we try to explain this to other people and other alliances in written text form, in short sentences, in state chat or alliance chat or private messages, the impact gets lost. So I decided that I would do this so that my head itches, I don't know why, that sort of puts it all together so that you can show them how detrimental some of their actions may be. So you've got middle, and then you've got 4 gun turrets around middle, or towers. Those towers fire on the opponent. The opponent is always the alliance in middle that is not in the tower. In state versus state, it's going to be the state that's in the middle is the opponent of the state that's in the tower if it's not the same state. So if 464 or 433 or 522, I'm just throwing numbers out there, holds mid, and 469 is in all four towers, then those towers are going to fire on mid. And this is important. If state versus state doesn't stop individual alliances on the same side, because I mean, you tend to think of everybody in your state is on one side against everybody in the other state. I can run a rally on any alliance that's in mid, whether it's a 469 alliance or not. Okay? So can all of your smaller alliances. They can run. So let's talk about, though, before we get to that, let's go back to these towers, because this is something you've got to understand. Each one of those towers has a timer. And in that timer, it starts like this. First occupation. As soon as you take, or the occupation of that tower changes, the timer starts all over. First timer, 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, that gun turret starts shooting. All right? And every 3 minutes, it's going to shoot again up to a point in time. Then it's going to change to 2 minutes. So the longer you hold that tower, the more frequently the gun turret goes off. All the way down to, conceivably, if you hold it for a long enough period of time, that tower is going to fire every minute. Every time that tower fires, it causes 2% damage across the board. Irrespective, doesn't matter whether you're a T11 or whether you're a T5. Everybody in mid, all right, is going to receive 2% damage. Period. End of story. And if their hospital's full, those troops are going to be dead. All right? Now, let's think about this for a minute. Hold on. Put your beanie together. 2% damage, one tower. Let's say you're in mid and the enemy has 2 towers. Gee, that's now 4% damage, maybe as often as every minute. Do you recognize what happens there? Do you think about it for a minute? Those small alliances are then actually trying to get points, and you can't blame them for that. But can you ask them, or can you show them, and that's what this video is about, can you show them how important it is to learn patience, cooperation, communication? 4% damage every minute. Not just 4% damage, not just the wounded, but the lightly wounded. Those are troops that have diminished defensive capability as well. So let's say, and take the next scenario. Let's say I'm in mid. I'm going to use me as an example. And I'm not special, but it's just easier. So now let's take a look at a couple of scenarios. I have 1 million troops. I'm sitting in mid. I just took cannon fire from 2 cannons. That's 4%. 4% of 1 million is going to be 40,000 dead. Gone. Period. End of story. Dead, wounded, whatever. They're out. Okay? 40,000 that were missing. So now we went from 1 million to 950, essentially. Then you launched a 1,000,000-man rally against mid for points. Now, you're a smaller alliance. You don't stand a chance in mid. You're not going to get occupation. Or you might for, a few minutes. But what you have done is you've taken away time from the state, if that happens. But you've launched a 1,000,000-man rally. Now, out of that 1,000,000-man rally, you might actually do, depending on, some of the players or some of the people in your rally, they're heroes, they're generals, they're level of troops, plasma. You might even have a few T11s in there. All right. But you might actually knock another 100,000 out. It's possible. All right. So now I went from 950 to 850. And then right behind that, I've got the enemy with 1,000,000 high-level troops coming in. You just saved them from having to do a double rally. You saved them from losing troops because the weaker capital mid is, the less troops they lose, the less wounded they have. All right. And in addition to that, what you have done is you have made it more difficult, more time, more resources, more healing to recycle back up to 100% and go again. That pisses me off. And I'm going to name some names right now. 007, GER, SNL. All right? You guys, you're on my shit list. This is your first, no, let me rephrase that. This is your last warning. You've had many other requests. Don't attack mid in the middle of SVS. Don't make it harder on us to hold it. When it comes to SVS, this is the bottom line. The only people in our alliance that are going to hold it are going to be one of the top 4 alliances. Otherwise, you don't have any reason until we have occupied it long enough to secure a win for the state, for everybody in the state to receive rewards. You're denying rewards to other people. That's out of what? I'm hoping it's out of a misunderstanding. I'm hoping that you didn't quite understand the significance of it. All right? You can reverse this situation and you can rephrase this situation in many different ways. The point is that you're interfering to the detrimental effect that it has on the state. And it's no longer going to be tolerated by me. Now, what other people do, I don't know. And as one of our most favorite members says, I do what I want. That being said, hey, you know what? You guys are on notice. SVS is coming. You've got a week and a half to watch this video. You've got a week and a half to give it to your other players and make sure they watch it and they understand. That's the way it goes. You don't participate in Discord voice, so you don't coordinate. Now, a lot of this could be avoided by participating in Discord voice, and that's a whole different video, and we're not going to go into it. But you do understand how detrimental between the cannon fire and your alliance sending a 1,000,000-man march out there. So when it comes to state versus state, there has to be some coordination, communication, and cooperation. This is important. You're denying rewards to the rest of the members of the state. You're hurting the state for your own personal greed. So that's why I say everybody that watches this should, every R4 and R5 should make this mandatory, that every member of their alliance watch it so they understand we're not trying to deny you points. The towers are still open. Have at it. That's inconsequential compared to occupation time in mid. Occupation time in mid is what wins, not tower time. You want to knock us out of a tower? Great. That's what it's all about. Let's have some fun. Knock us out. Knocking us out of mid costs resources and time. Not only that, it costs every member of the state rewards. So your actions impact every single state member. 2% per tower. If state versus state, it doesn't matter who occupies that tower as long as it's our state. So if you knock me out, all right, of a tower, it's okay. It's still not going to fire on me in mid. Now, there's an argument that says, well, I launched my rally when the opponent was in mid. Well, I have an answer for that as well. Quit launching rallies and then watching porn. Don't launch that rally and walk away. All right? I watch, I'll tell you who the most offensive of this is 007. They will launch a rally from their settlement with a 20-minute march. And they just don't care. They walk away. They really and truly do. They don't recognize and see, we're telling them in state chat, hey, cancel that rally. Or we're sending them a private message, hey, cancel that rally. We've done that numerous times. They don't pay attention to it. But more than they don't pay attention to it, I've gotten a reply before telling me to fuck off. They're just going after points. Where, in fact, in that particular instance, we lost state versus state by 20 minutes. Every time, well, not every time, but sometimes losing mid can cost 7 to 12 minutes. It just depends on ghost rallies, secondary rallies, updates, everything else. All right? You are having a highly negative impact upon the state. 2% every time it fires. And every time it fires can be as often as every minute. That's 10% in 5 minutes. 10%. That's a lot. Now, we're constantly updating, refreshing, and everything that goes along with it. But that 10% hurts. And if it's timed, even accidentally timed, in coordination to hit within 30 seconds of the enemy's rally, your rally, and the cannons, nobody's going to last through that. I would say, take a hard look at where the timer is. See what's going on. Figure it out. If you don't know, ask. CAT, RFU, Bio, everybody. They all have people in and monitoring state chat all the time. All the time. You can ask a simple question. Hey, is it time that, is it okay to start attacking mid? What's your problem? I mean, really, you can't ask a simple question? Watch this. Pay attention to this. This is important stuff. This is not little things anymore. When we fight state versus state, we're fighting strong states. Okay? Just like Reservoir League today, we're going to lose. But by God, they're going to know we fought. But the contenders, the enemy, they're getting bigger and bigger. And it's no longer easy to fight. It's never been easy, but what I'm saying is that every little bit hurts and every little bit helps. Not attacking helps, all right? And attacking hurts. It shouldn't be something that is of a reasonable fashion that makes you do this. You shouldn't be doing it, and you should know better. And I'm putting you on notice. And you know what? If you're watching this and you're from another state, you might consider doing the same thing, because I know I've spoken to people at other states. Okay? I know they have the same problem. You can't fight like this anymore. You just can't. You can't go willy-nilly doing whatever you want. There's enough changes and enough power and enough strength out there that coordination and cooperation is a necessity. It's not a luxury any longer. So where do we stand? I'm sorry I had to leave and come back. I had Reservoir League, and we had to go fight that battle, and that's a whole other different video. But where do we stand? Well, it's real simple. Quit. Stop being a jerk. Don't be attacking, and coordinate with your state when it comes to SVS. That's what it needs to be. You can't be one of those people that just is a pain in the ass. You can't do it. If you do, you're going to get what's coming to you. Communication, cooperation, these are the keys. So, please, subscribe. Hit the button below. Make it interesting for me to keep going. All right? Like, share, and more important than any of that, although I do wish you would do that, get every member in your state to watch this video so that they can understand the damage they cause. Because doing it by text, short sentences, language issues, it's just not going to work. It hasn't worked in our state, and I don't think it'll work in yours. Hopefully, this will work. Don't forget, leave me your comments. Maybe you found a better solution. I don't know. But otherwise, have a great day. And Reservoir League, it was an eye-opening event. We were vastly outmanned and outnumbered. Take care, Dr. Dementia.